fire, unbelievable moment. Coco Gauff. Shocking stand last night. That changed everything. In the electric air of last night's match under the glowing stadium. Lights, Coco Gauff didn't just play tennis. She made history in a way no one saw coming. What began as a tense battle on the court quickly turned into one of the most talked about moments in modern sports. The young superstar known for her composure and humility took a stand that sent shock waves through the tennis world and far beyond. This wasn't just about winning or losing a match. This was about courage, about truth, about standing up when it's easier to stay silent. A night that started like any other. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric. Every seat filled, every camera lens focused on a 21-year-old sensation who has carried the weight of global expectations since her teenage debut. Coco Gauff had been on a winning streak, displaying her trademark mix of power, agility, and calm focus. She was facing one of her fiercest rivals, a seasoned player known for psychological warfare and unrelenting precision. The stakes, a spot in the year-end championship. But no one, not even her most loyal fans, could have predicted what was about to happen. The first set unfolded in typical Gauff fashion, a tight contest of nerves and strategy. Her opponent broke early, but Gauff rallied with that signature grit. Her backhand slicing through the tension like lightning. The crowd roared as she clenched her fist after each point, her eyes filled with the same determination that had defined her career. And then something shifted. The controversial call that sparked it all. At 4-2, from the deciding set, Gauff hit what looked like a clear winner down the line. The crowd erupted. Even her opponent dropped her racket in resignation. But then the umpire's voice cut through the noise. Out! Gasps rippled through the stands. The replay on the big screen clearly showed the ball clipping the line. It wasn't even close, yet the point stood. For a moment, Gauff froze, disbelief etched across her face. Her coach, sitting courtside, raised his hands in protest. The boos started softly but grew into a storm. Gauff walked toward the chair. Umpire, calm but firm. You saw that replay, right? She asked, voice steady, but trembling with control fire. The umpire refused to overturn the decision. And that's when Coco Gauff did something that absolutely no one expected. The stand that shook the stadium. Instead of walking back to the baseline, Coco stood still. The match paused. Cameras zoomed in. The audience fell silent, sensing the magnitude of what was unfolding. I'm not just playing for myself, she said into the mic, voice echoing across the arena. I'm playing for fairness, for every player who's ever been silenced, every call that's been ignored, every person told to just play and stay quiet. It was raw. It was powerful. It was real. Social media exploded instantly, within minutes. Hashtags like hashtag Coco stands tall, hashtag fair play, and hashtag Golf Revolution trended worldwide. Tennis legends like Serena Williams, Billie Jean King, and even Novak Djokovic tweeted support. But what made the moment truly historic wasn't just a defiance. It was a calm dignity with which she delivered it. She didn't accuse. She demanded accountability, a legacy of courage. For those who have followed Coco Gauff's journey, this was a culmination of something deeper, the evolution of a champion who has never been afraid to speak her truth. From the start of her career, Coco has balanced athletic brilliance with maturity beyond her years. She's spoken against racism, gender inequality, and unfair treatment in sports. She's shown empathy, intelligence, and moral courage that extends beyond tennis courts. But last night felt different. This wasn't a press conference statement or a post-match reflection. It was a spontaneous, emotional stand made in the heat of competition, when her own career was online, and that's what made it revolutionary. By refusing to continue. Until the issue was acknowledged, Coco forced the officials to review the call. Again, this time under the glare of millions watching around the world. The tournament director intervened. The point was reversed. Gauff went on to win a match in breathtaking fashion, a 7-6 comeback that had fans in tears. But even as she lifted her arms in victory, everyone knew the match result wasn't the main story. The moment she spoke up was the world reacts. In the hours that followed, the sports world couldn't stop talking about it. News anchors replayed the clip on a loop. Former players called it a defining moment in tennis ethics. Commentators debated whether her defiance would inspire future players to demand technological fairness and emotional respect in the sport. Serena Williams posted on X. Proud doesn't even begin to describe it. This is how change starts, one brave voice at a time. Billie Jean King wrote, Coco reminded us tonight that integrity matters as much as talent. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it. Meanwhile, fans flooded social media with messages of gratitude, calling her the voice of a generation. Even rival athletes from other sports, basketball, soccer, track, expressed admiration for her poise under pressure. And through it all, Coco stayed humble. When asked about the incident in her post-match interview, she smiled softly and said, I wasn't trying to make a scene. I just wanted what's right. If I don't stand for that, then what's the point? Winning the bigger picture, why this moment matters. In many ways, Coco Gauff's stand wasn't just about tennis. It was a metaphor for a much larger struggle in sports and society. Fairness, respect, the courage to challenge authority when it's wrong. Sports at its best reflects the values we aspire to live by. Yet too often, players, especially young women and athletes of color, are expected to remain silent, to accept unfair treatment for the sake of decorum, a moment etched in time. Every era in sports has its defining moments. Ali refusing a fight in Vietnam. Billie Jean King's battle of the sexes. Serena's fight for equality. Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. Last night, Coco Gauff joined that list. She didn't plan it. She didn't script it. But history rarely asks for permission. It just happens, and those brave enough to act become its authors. As one commentator said, she didn't just hit a winner last night. She became one. Looking ahead as Coco prepares for her next match, the world will watch her not just as an athlete, but as a symbol of integrity, of change, of a new era of tennis where players are not just competitors, but voices of conscience. The incident may fade from the headlines, but its impact will echo for years. Coaches will remind young players of that night when Coco Gauff stood still and made the world listen. Because sometimes the most powerful moves in life are not the ones we make with our hands, but the ones we make with our hearts. Coco Gauff's shocking stand wasn't about defiance. It was about dignity. It wasn't rebellion. It was responsibility. And in a world that often values silence over truth, her courage reminded us that greatness isn't measured by trophies alone, but by the willingness to speak up for what's right, even when the whole world is watching. Last night, Coco Gauff didn't just win a match. She changed the game. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next